All right, I'll do it. It's some doggy dick action time as we get into this one, looking at everyone's favorite meme coin, and it's also my favorite meme coin as well, just because it's absolutely hilarious and, well, it's been around for a long time, so I do suspect that there are some actually interesting things to be getting into on this particular one, and hopefully I'll do my best to explain why. Other than that, I am on the wrong page right here. I'm literally looking at the menu for the Greek place that we intend to eat at later. My apologies on that one. I'm looking at the grilled meat, though. I'm looking at the Conto Souvli beef and also some roasted lemon oregano chicken. I think we get both of those, actually. Anyways, let's get to the actual content of the day. That is so funny. What the hell? Anyways, yeah, so the 2-day time frame, Oracle Pro has fired off a strong buy signal right here for the first time basically since the October run began, actually, but propelled a nearly 59% move over the next 50 days. And I'm testing this from the time when that signal was actually confirmed on closure to the next major high. So no sort of painting this one better than what it would have looked in this particular case. And I think it's important to make that distinction because a lot of the time you can see like, oh, it started all the way down here and edge out another few percent. But ultimately, we've seen several of these signals in the past year here. Some of them have been incredibly impressive. Some of them have been actually complete duds. But on the whole, it has been a winning setup. And I didn't bother going through the statistics on this one fully, just because there were like some just insane signals from the early days of Dogecoin, and it was printing like 10,000% plus moves. So it's just like, how useful is that to include? I mean, maybe it's very, very useful, but I just suspected it's probably not the time to be including that on this particular one. And I'm actually going to balance out these statements hopefully later on within this video, where we're talking on the higher term timeframes right here. Make no mistake, the lower term timeframes are a little bit different, as it has had a pretty crazy run already. I mean, just in the past couple of days, up 60%. Yeah, that's that's nothing, right? Anyways, moving on now, I do want to get into something that is relevant for tonight because it is the monthly closure. And the monthly stochastic oscillator is in the process of not just continuing to the upside, assuming that Dogecoin closes today above basically 6 cents, which it's right now literally more than a 2x away from, but you never know. You never want to take anything for granted, right? But it's also going to be working its way out of the bearish control zone for the first time. And there it is, the Dubai cultural experience in the background. We have some prayers going on. Anyways, we want to be respectful here, but yeah, in this case, it is working its way out of the bearish control zone into the doggy zone, and really we haven't seen it enter into this zone like freshly since August of 2020, actually. So, and simultaneously, we're also going to see this one continue above the moving average on this as well. So, it's really happened a few other times in its history. And of course, those were, preceding some pretty impressive runs. I'm actually curious, can you hear the religious chanting in the background? I'm just curious. This is where you're reminded that you live in Dubai. But anyways, this is coming within the context of extreme lows on volatility. In fact, the lowest lows that we've ever seen on volatility ever on the monthly. And really the last few times we've seen comparable setups were, with low volatility and stochastic momentum turning up, boom, in the bullish control zone, I should add as well, also above the moving average. And then also boom right here as well. And again, fair enough, respectable. Anyways, I want to take a second now to explain, while Dogecoin is a meme coin and is, for all intents and purposes, at least as far as I know, a joke, it does stand out head and shoulders above most other things in this market, not just other meme coins, but actually the legitimate projects, the ones that are supposed to change the world and, I don't know, be some sort of highly esteemed replacement for the US dollar or gold or whatever the hell, or Bitcoin perhaps as well. And it is this: from cycle to cycle, Dogecoin continues to put in macro higher lows. And it's in the process of literally doing that yet again right here with this seemingly higher low in place, which will be confirmed if it can trade back above the October 2022 or November 2022 highs right here. Most things in this market, not just meme coins, but even the legitimate ones, do not put in macro higher lows on the monthly. They put in lower lows from cycle to cycle if they even survive at all. So I think that actually does kind of speak towards, dare I say, the long-term legitimacy of this. And then, of course, you have a great narrative on the back end of this one as well, right? Regardless of your opinions of what you might think, whether you love or hate Elon Musk, it does seem like Twitter has been in the process, and I don't know this for sure, but it seems like it, that Twitter's been in the process of integrating maybe some sort of crypto on the back end for some sort of payment service there, which maybe they do Dogecoin, seeing as, Musk likes that one. I don't know. Again, this is speculation here. Just as an a thought experiment, let's say, but it's a great narrative. It's a really, really good narrative, especially if you're going to see maybe something going on like this. But as usual, these pumps kind of are relatively short-lived, and they take no prisoners. But fair enough. Anyways, yes, so moving on now, I do want to talk about one more bullish thing, and then we'll talk about the short term. The weekly time frame RSI is back into the bullish control zone for the first time since November, but there are a couple of other maybe more important things on top of it other than that. So it's literally just breaking in as of this week, just to be 100% clear right here. Last week, it was actually outside. So this last period is right here. This period is right here. What's relevant about this is, well, anytime we have seen it break freshly into the bullish control zone, usually after like one test, kind of like you see right here, and a rejection, well, I'll mark off all of the areas where we've seen this in the past, and then I will show you on the chart where the Dogecoin touched all of the bearish sellers. And let's see. These were all, preceding some pretty mega pumps. I always like to balance myself out in a more sincere tone here. Like, you don't want to use words like that. You don't want to build up the emotional response that some people can have towards these markets, myself included in that as well. But history is history, and we see several things from several different angles, both momentum and volatility based. That kind of suggests the same thing. Long term, this one seems to be turning the corner, seems to be putting in this macro higher low, and very close to even putting in this first higher high as well. Again, trading and closing on even a weekly closing basis above your October 2022 highs. That would do it for me, and you're probably going to see it pull one of those crazy moves that Dogecoin does, or that we've seen a lot of other things already in this market do, especially for the stronger movers. Now, the thing is that with Dogecoin, a lot of the time it is a signal that things usually are like coming to a relative end once it starts to get going. But it can get going for a little bit longer, of course. And if we actually, now that I recognize it right here, if we get rid of this, the Jewel Light or Crown VMP, as I've renamed it, as you can see, has actually turned up freshly on this week, showing upside momentum plus volatility as well. And then the percentile in the background is actually getting quite interesting here too, as that one does, well, naturally lead up. But momentum is being gained as volatility does turn around, is what that essentially does suggest, which it's kind of what you want to see, I guess, if you are bullish on this one. Anyways, so I've spoken all about bullish things up till now. Now I want to get into the daily HPDR bands. So I do want to say that in the very, very short term, I would say it's probably unlikely to say that this one's going to continue like exactly from today to new all-time highs or anything like that. It just hit the 99% of historic returns range highs, which, I mean. That implies that it's quite unlikely to continue blasting from here without a short-term pullback and consolidation perhaps, and that's realistically to be expected when you are retesting around this prior high over here again from October of 2022. So I do think it's completely reasonable to expect something like that. It could also be that I'm actually not using the index chart. So let's double check this one on the index chart just to see. Okay, it's actually at the 95% of historical returns range highs on the index chart. But still, that is equally as kind of crazy. Or sorry, yeah, 95, which is, I mean, in my opinion, still pretty fucking crazy. I'd still be looking at this as a likely consolidation region. How long does that last? I don't know. I mean, with the way that this market's been looking, with the way a lot of things have been operating, it's kind of hard to say it's going to spend like a whole hell of a lot of time there. But maybe a short form consolidation, and then tries an upside move, perhaps next week or the week after that. Perhaps those are also famous last words, as I'm maybe too conservative in that estimate. Looking at the weekly right here, what do we see? Well, we see a loading screen, actually. We do see, the next area of interest to the upside is 78.6. So if you are going to see continuation in the short term, that would be a pretty damn good area to be looking for, which is about 15.5 cents. So if it does make another move to the upside in the short term, that's where I'd be looking for. But I would really strongly be looking for a pullback from that region. Again, pullbacks likely lead towards higher lows. This one is, as far as I'm concerned, in upside trending motion, especially as long as it's above 10 cents right now on a closing basis. As long as it's above 10 cents, all pullbacks are just that, pullbacks before further continuation to the upside. But I did want to represent, or at least represent these statistics over here, in the sense that in the short term, it's pretty damn hot right now. So, you know, looking for a pullback somewhere from these regions, maybe 15.5 cents as well. If things get really crazy in the short term, I think is more reasonable. But who knows what's reasonable in a market about magic internet money where you literally look at doggy coins online. Anyways, I'm going to sign off on that note before I say more stupid shit. Just wanted to make this video because I thought it was funny. And we'll sign off on that note. So as always, I want to wish you the best. Take care. Much love. See you hopefully tomorrow.